as you can handle in a bite. Gotta avoid awkward situations. Step 5. Enjoy the perks. After the meal, enjoy the perks offered as a Korean restaurant. Fabric refreshers get rid of the barbecue smell, while mint candies freshen your breath. Did you survive the barbecue restaurant? Hang on. Are you here with someone you want to impress? Then let's skip the garlic. Who knows what will happen?
안녕하세요. Riding on the Korean wave. Welcome to Friday's edition of the Culture Wave. I'm Kwon-soa in Seoul. Explore with us Korea's culture from all aspects and stay up to date with K-entertainment, K-food, K-movies, K-everything. And all of that together with our Friday co-host, Bella Kim. Hello, Bella.
Hi, Soa. And hello to everyone joining us today on The Culture Wave. I'm Bella, here to co-host and fill you guys in with the latest in K-entertainment.
And we're also joined by Arirang's news features reporter, Park Kwon-woo. Welcome, Kwon-woo.
Hi, Kwon-woo.
Hi, guys. And a big hello to our viewers as well. I'm Park Kwon-woo, news features reporter at Arirang News, and I've got some exciting news just for you, so stay tuned.
Kwon-woo, I heard that you've developed an interest for a special diet these days. So could you tell us more about it?
Yes, of course. So these days I've been following a diet called the slow aging diet, literally meaning a diet that helps delay your physical aging. And it's been popular in South Korea, especially among the younger generation since last year. So although I haven't been on it for long, I really recommend it. But before I tell you more, let's take a look at how others are embracing this trend too. At around midday, people rush to grab their lunch from their favorite spots. What's catching a lot of attention is how many young people are opting for healthier choices. One of their go-to picks? Fresh salads packed with a variety of vegetables and nuts.
I used to eat a lot of high-calorie junk food, which made digestion difficult and affected my studies. Since cutting back, I feel less bloated in the mornings and don't get as tired after meals.
Healthy eating is no longer just a concern for older generations.
I think that your health starts on the inside, and it doesn't matter if your skin looks good. I think it should be a little bit more active starting younger, and then also focus on what you're eating.
The slow aging trend, which focuses on eating certain foods to slow down physical aging, became a boom in South Korea after it went viral on social media last year. And more people from the younger generation are joining in.
Many young people began seeing others on social media embrace a healthier, more vibrant lifestyle that slows down aging, which seemed beneficial and inspiring enough to follow.
As the trend grows, young people are even taking charge of their health by preparing slow-aging diet meals themselves. These meals they prepare involve cutting out simple sugars, refined grains, and unhealthy fats, while focusing on slow-digesting carbs like whole grains and veggies that can also prevent blood sugar spikes. So today I tried making a meal packed with vegetables and fruits like carrots and apples as part of a slow-aging diet. And as it tasted so good, I've also decided to make this kind of meal more often and track my meals as part of a healthy routine. Many are even sharing their slow-aging meals and recipes online, inspiring others to follow suit. However, an expert warns against extreme eating habits.
Health is maintained through a balanced diet. While slow-aging meals are beneficial, they can also become too one-sided. And you need to maintain a balanced diet in the long term, not just for a year or two, before going off track.
She added that occasional cheat days can be necessary for satisfaction, and that she expects the slow-aging trend will evolve through a balanced approach, where combining the slow-aging diet with cheat days creates a harmonious lifestyle.
Well, Konu, now I know why you're getting younger and younger.
Yes, that was supposed to be my secret. Now everybody knows.
Thanks for revealing.
Thanks for sharing, finally. Well, after seeing your coverage, it really makes me want to, try these slow-aging foods. So, could you recommend some of the slow-aging foods?
Of course.
Please.
Yes. Okay, so here's the secret. So let me share some details about the dishes I tried, as you saw in my coverage. They're carrot remoulade sandwiches that I made from scratch, one with peanut butter and apples, the other one with vegan mayo, vegan meat, and also whole grain mustard inside. The carrot remoulade really gave it the kick with its crunchy texture that immediately grabbed my taste buds. Oh my goodness. I recommend them not just because they're healthy, obviously, but also as they're delicious and easy to make. The most challenging part, I think, was marinating the carrots after slicing them thinly. But that wasn't too difficult at all, thanks to a peeling machine that made the process so much easier.
I mean, it does look pretty simple, and I like eating healthy food, but still, I'm that kind of person who doesn't want to go through much hassle. But for those, I guess it's great that we hear retail industries are also releasing products that are targeted at slow aging.
That's true. So a lot of major bread and snack, franchises in South Korea are now introducing these new products made with healthier ingredients such as whole grains instead of the refined carbs commonly used in many items. Convenience stores are also creating lunchboxes tailored to the slow aging trend. On the other hand, major soda companies saw a decline in operating profits last year, reflecting the shift in consumer preferences. Delivery application companies have responded by adding a health and diet management category on their main screens, featuring items like chicken breast and zero sugar products. And additionally, restaurant reservation platforms, which are quite popular here in Korea, have started creating sections within their apps that highlight these places offering slow-aging diet foods.
Well, thank you very much for those healthy advice, Konu.
Of course.
And everyone, don't forget, you are what you eat. Thank you very much for today's report.
Thank you, Konu.
Thank you.
And now time for some K-Entertainment news with Bella Kim. So Bella, yesterday we talked about how many Korean celebrities are showing their support for the recovery efforts in the southeastern part of the country due to the wildfires. Now I hear there are more stars contributing.
Right. The generous wave of donation is continuing for wildfire recovery efforts. Among the music industry, BTS members RM, J-Hope, and Suga each donated 100 million won, roughly $68,000 to the Korea Disaster Relief Association. SM Entertainment, the agency for aespa and NCT, also made donations, 300 million won. And in addition, IVE, LE SSERAFIM, NCT Doyoung, and Rise, under their fandom name Breeze, contributed generously as well. Actors have also stepped up to support wildfire relief efforts, including Lee Jong-seok, Byun-seok, and Jang Geun-seok.
We wish all the best for the recovery efforts. Now, Bella, our next story is on an update on the ongoing controversy between actor Kim Soo-hyun and late actress Kim Se-ron. So what do you have?
The families of Kim Se-ron released what is claimed to be the evidence supporting their assertion that she was in a relationship with Kim Soo-hyun when she was a minor. Boo Ji-seok, the family's legal representative, held a press conference on Thursday, claiming that he was lying about the relationship And the Kakao Talk message exchanged between the two reportedly date back to 2016 when she was a minor and include phrases like miss you, wanna hug you, and heart emojis as well. The lawyer also revealed an unsent letter Kim Se-ron wrote to Kim Soo-hyun. He stated that the press conference was held in hope to end the criticism directed to the family.
Well, keep us updated on this issue.
Yes.
Now, last but not least, Bella, we're going to move on to a newly released but yet not so new song. What are we talking about here?
That's correct. We're going to be talking about aespa's mega hit song, Whiplash. The English version of the title track Whiplash from the group's fifth mini album was released on Thursday. Now, this single also includes a remix version of the same song by world-renowned DJ Steve Aoki. And Aoki has reinterpreted the distinct vocals of aespa members in his own style. Meanwhile, aespa will perform this English version of Whiplash for the very first time at Billboard's Women in Music 2025 held in Los Angeles on Saturday, March 29th.
Glad to hear that more now global fans can sing along to the song Whiplash. Thank you very much, Bella, for those updates, and stick around.
Yes, we'll stick around.
And now it's time to go over to our AI anchor, Ari, who has a number of events in store for us today. Ari?
Hello and welcome to your AI guide to the latest cultural updates from Korea. Here's our top story. The Dongyang International Music Festival kicks off today with a captivating lineup of performances. Under the theme, Journey Inwards, this year's festival will bring together illustrious musicians from around the world for a 10-day celebration in the southern port city. The festival opens tonight with a performance led by resident artist and star pianist Im Yoon-chan, and acclaimed French conductor Fabien Gabel, who will lead the Dongyang Festival Orchestra. Throughout the festival, audiences can enjoy performances by Spanish cellist Pablo Ferrandez, the Baroque Orchestra conducted by renowned Belgian conductor René Jacobs, and much more. It will conclude on April 6th with Britain's War Requiem, conducted by Song Xion and performed by the Dongyang Festival Orchestra. Established in 1999, the Dongyang International Music Festival has grown into one of Asia's most prominent classical music events. A variety of events are set to be held in Korea and abroad to celebrate the 10th anniversary of Ping Pong's Baby Shark, the beloved character that has become a global sensation. Pop-up stores will be set up at Korea's major shopping malls, with photo sessions and Baby Shark movie screenings also in store. In the United States, Ping Pong will team up with the marine theme park SeaWorld to hold collaborative events at 3 locations across San Diego, Orlando, and San Antonio. In Japan, Baby Shark will take part in a local kids festival in Tokyo, featuring an offline booth and a pop-up store. Introduced in 2015 as part of a YouTube children's song series, Baby Shark became a worldwide phenomenon, earning the highest number of views in YouTube history and becoming the first video to surpass 10 billion views. Baby Shark content is available in over 200 countries and in 25 languages. The Seokchon Lake Cherry Blossom Festival will return this year from April 2nd to 6th at Seokchon Lake in Songpagu District, one of Seoul's most popular spots for cherry blossom viewing. This year's festival goes beyond a simple spring outing, offering a cultural and artistic experience set against a picturesque lakeside backdrop. The opening ceremony will feature a string quartet performance, a cappella group Boys Toy, as well as beloved singers Hwang Garam and Chu. A special cherry blossom tree lighting ceremony is also scheduled. Throughout the 5-day run, diverse cultural and artistic exhibitions will be held at venues around the lake. The Gallery Hosu will showcase Philip Colbert's exhibition, Journey to the Lobster Planet, while other cultural facilities will feature fashion shows and media art displays. The entire 2.6-kilometer walking trail around Seokchon Lake will be illuminated at night. That's all from me. Keep it tuned to the Culture Wave.
Award-winning Korean director Bong Joon-ho's latest hit movie, Mickey 17, and a cult K-animation film, Exorcism Chronicles, The Beginning, have something in common. Both have led to an increased interest in the original novels they are based on. Today, we want to take a closer look at this trend and the two movies in more detail with Jae So, professor and filmmaker at Seoul Institute of the Arts. Hello, Professor So.
Hello,
Nice to be
Professor.
Good to see you.
So, Professor So, it's been now exactly a month since Mickey 17 has been released here in Korea and around 3 weeks elsewhere. I think around 2.9 million viewers have watched it domestically, and I've been really eager to ask you this question. How was the movie?
I think the movie's really great. It's unusual, quirky, everything a Bong Joon-ho film has. So, you know, it creates like a new world, a dystopian world. And I think what I found really interesting is that it has all these Western actors now in it, except for Steven Yeun. So you have like an American film basically made by Warner Brothers by a Korean director. So, you know, you delve into this world where it's kind of like a sort of a dystopian future. You have creatures like in Okja and The Host. So you have his world in this kind of movie, which I think is just really unusual. And I think for a while, Warner Brothers had a hard time trying to release it because they didn't know how to market the movie. But I think, you know, something that Bong Joon-ho said, which was something about how the most personal is the most creative. So, you know, it's based on a novel, but he has really made it his own kind of genre in itself. And so it blends everything from science fiction to satire to sort of, you know, social commentary, things like that. And then I just really like the characters. Robert Pattinson, you know, basically, I don't want to give spoilers, but he's really interesting because he's a clone. You could see that in the trailer, but his acting is something I haven't seen in a long time. So he's able to bring out sort of like really great things. Toni Collette, you know, all these great actors in the movie just really kind of shine.
Well, I myself, I really liked the movie as well. And I have to say, you mentioned that director Bong Joon-ho's other movies, like the elements are seen there. And I also thought that I could see parts of kind of elements of Snowpiercer and also Parasite. It was Bong Joon-ho. And I also really liked it that I could ponder upon moral issues after watching it. Now, Bella is also getting ready to watch it, I heard, right? And I guess you're going to contribute to maybe reaching 3 million viewers.
Very
because
soon,
we're
right?
at 2.9 million right now. But Professor So, in Korea, Mickey 17 has also spurred the interest into the book, which is Mickey 7, not 17, with over 100,000 copies having been sold. Now, there are some distinct differences, though, between the book and the movie. So let's talk about that. I mean, the obvious one is that Mickey seems to be dying more often in the movie.
Yes, the title, 17 is the movie, so he dies 10 times more. But a lot of people don't know this, but it's actually Bong Joon. Before the movie, the book was even published, he saw the unfinished manuscript of Mickey 7 and sort of fell in love with it, and then sort of made it. And as you pointed out, the movie has, you know, distinct differences. You know, there isn't a, you know, I think there's a sort of a dictator character. There's no wife character played by Toni Collette. Also, the main character, Robert Pattinson, in the movies a little bit dim, like sort of a working man type of thing. In the novel, he's a historian and an intellectual, but it still takes sort of the basic storyline of the thing. And then, of course, as you mentioned, Bong Joon-ho is a very interesting, quirky director, so he kind of put his spin on it. So I think, in a way, it creates an interesting contrast because it's about the same story, but you know, you kind of see Bong Joon-ho's take on it. And so if you read the novel, you see major differences in terms of characters and the way the story is going. But I think Bong Joon-ho's story is just so visual. You're watching a movie, so, you know, like the creature is just described as a creature, but in the movie, you know, it's really distinct. So there are elements of things in novels that you can kind of imagine, and then there are movies that come out that kind of like take your imagination into a direction that maybe you might have not even thought of. Yeah.
Right. And I think audiences like that too, you know, having that little twist from the novel to the film product. And Mickey 17 is loved by so many fans, you know, not only science fiction fans or the fans of original works, but by basically everyone who watched the film. Why do you think Mickey 17 appealed to such a wide variety of audiences?
Well, I think first of all, like it's kind of a niche story in terms of it being in a science fiction sort of universe, but at the same time, you know, like the elements of Parasite, it's still about sort of a small family, you know, of basically it's a couple that's kind of established in the movie, but you kind of go into this story starting with the main character's sort of narration about himself, which is in first person. So it goes back to sort of like old film noir movies in the past where it's like a detective movie where the guy's going, you know, how did I get into this? You know, that type of thing. So there's a lot to explain in this movie, but just a simple thing about cloning and things like that. So, but I love all the details about things like, you know, I don't want to give up too much stuff, but it's in the trailer, so I'm going to mention it, that the human body is cloned in this movie, and it, like a bad Xerox machine, it kind of gets stuck sometimes. So those are like little elements that I guess you can't really imagine in a novel, but in the movie, those things kind of, I was like laughing a lot in the theater. I don't think a lot of audiences thought it was funny, maybe afterwards, but I just found it to be so interesting and also quirky. So.
Those little details are really what gets the audiences.
Exactly.
And now I want to talk about another movie. It's Exorcism Chronicles: The Beginning, or 퇴마록, which, you know, has been one of the most successful animation film lately. Both ticket sales and the book sales are doing great. What do you think, you know, is what's behind this popularity?
So introducing the Exorcism Chronicles, basically it's by a writer named Lee Woo-yuk, who basically it was serialized as a bunch of novels that came out from 1993 to 2001, and it sold over 10 million copies. So it was something that I think a generation before really kind of took to. So it's even before webtoons, really. So this serialized novel was something that people really got into. And the story is about you know, basically an exorcism thing, which, you know, with now Exuma coming out, which is like a huge movie, it combined basically sort of Christian sort of elements with shamanism. So it's like the first sort of stories that really did that. And it's about like the main character is an exorcism expert who basically fights evil spirits. And he comes from a long lineage of sort of people that do exorcism, has supernatural powers, things like that. So it's something that was serialized. People really, you know, wanted to read the next novel when it came out. So finally, the people behind the powers that made it decided to do an animation version of it. I kind of wanted to see a live action version, but I think there's too many fantastical elements, so I thought, you know, it was a good sort of choice, creative choice to do it in an animation form. So you're able to sort of do special effects and wild things, and I think the animation style itself is really unusual. It's basically almost like 3D and 2D sort of combined together. So it has this kind of very good texture in the movie. And so I think it's about time it came out, and I'm really glad that they made the first one. It's actually a prequel, so there are many perhaps sequels to come.
That actually brings us to our next question. I mean, people might be waiting already for season 2. And as you said, Professor So, it was about time that this came out as a movie, as the book, the novel, was published 3 decades ago. But how has it been adapted to modern times, do you think? And also, as you just mentioned, you would have liked also to see a live action movie. So maybe we could see this being adapted into, I don't know, a Netflix series with real actors and actresses?
Yeah, I'm actually surprised that it came out as a feature-length animation film, as a standalone, but I think they wanted to do it kind of low budget. So the budget is not, it's slightly over $1 million, so the box office sales actually has surpassed that. So they made their money back. It's not a huge hit, but I think it's something that I think a lot of people are starting to sort of catch on to. It's like a generation ago, right? Because it's basically 30 years ago when it came out. But there are people, I guess, people that were in their teenage years, now in their 40s and 50s, that like basically stood in line. When I went to see it in the theater, it was almost like kind of older generation people standing in line waiting to see it. So I think they were also very excited that it was in animation form and not in a live action, because I think there's a way, if you have live action, sometimes the star power behind something might not really gel with what the sort of the audiences want. But their universe of what this Exorcism Chronicles is really particular, and it has shamanistic elements. So I think the animation really kind of allowed for sort of creative things to come out like that, a lot of special effects that came out. And I think it works in today, like 2025. It's a perfect kind of style to do. So I think it was very successful. And so far there isn't like an announcement about the sequels, but I hope they make more. Yeah.
Now, Professor Su, you just mentioned it's the grown-ups that have been standing in line. Bella and I have been talking about this. The movie is actually, you can watch it 12 years and up, but it's because of those people who read the books 3 decades ago why it is called.
And then they were 12
adult.
actually when they read it.
Exactly, right. Oh, exactly.
Yeah, you're not supposed to read that. It was kind of more adult-based, but at the time when it came out, I remember a lot of sort of middle school kids were reading it, as well as high school kids. So.
Okay, that's
why it's more like a
And now they're
adults,
kind of older, right?
Yeah. And I do want to ask your thoughts on, the impact resulting from the consumption of content, that share the same universe, the book and the film, as well as, I want to hear the positive impact of the successful ticket sales at theaters on bookstore as well, because we're talking about, 2 films that, novels turned into films. So what's your thoughts on that?
Well, the history of cinema itself, it starts out with I think the first adaptation of a sort of a story or a novel is a movie called Cinderella that came out in 1899. So as long as movie history has been, there's always been sort of a link to literature. And now it's, webtoons and other sort of media. But we've had a long history of that. And right now, I think that universe sharing, the fandom that's in it. So I think it's called digging consumption is the word that they use now. And basically, before it'd be just a few sort of people that are really into it, that are into that fandom. But now this kind of sort of niche fandom has now become more mainstream. And people are really taking to it. So, for example, like Hunger Games would be a series that in the West that, people were really avid about it as a novel. And then when Jennifer Lawrence came out with sort of the live action version, people were excited to see that. So in Korea, we have a similar thing with maybe the movie Along with the Gods, 신과 함께. So that's also based on a sort of a webtoon, but at the same time, there's a fan base for that kind of universe, and you can share it with movies as well. Yeah.
Now, last but not least, Professor So, very briefly, are there any other movies that we can look out for this year that are based on other existing stories?
Yeah, I mean, for the most part, everybody's going towards, like series on Netflix and things like that. But I think what everybody's looking forward to is Park Chan-wook's new film, which is actually based on a novel. The Korean title is No Other Choice, but at the same time, it's based on a novel by Donald Westlake called The Axe, which was already made into a movie in the early 2000s by Costa Gavras, another great filmmaker. And this movie has Lee Byung-hun and Son Ye-jin. And it's basically kind of a horror thriller movie, but now with Park Chan-wook in the director's chair, I think it's going to be also humorous, quirky, sort of like in Bong Joon-ho's vein, but definitely like the old boy director's style. So it's sort of the story about somebody that loses his job and is job hunting, but kind of in a violent way. So I'm kind of looking forward to that. Yeah.
So much to watch in the rest of the year, and also so much to read, because people like to also go back to the original stories. Well, thank you very much, Professor So, for your insights today, and have a great weekend.
Thank you,
My
Professor.
pleasure. Thank you.
And thank you, Bella, as always. Have a great weekend yourself, and see you next week.
Yes, I'll see you next week.
Thank you for spending the past half an hour with us on the Culture Wave for your daily dose of K-culture issues. Have a safe and pleasant weekend, and join us again next week.
How to survive in Korea. One room. So, you're surviving in Korea if you signed a contract for a one room. Obviously, you're a pro. But the real deal begins now. Step 1. Housewarming. No need to buy toilet paper, diffusers or hand soap. You'll get them soon enough as housewarming gifts. And some are bound to pile up. There's nothing better to serve your guests than milpaeyu nabe. If you have Korean friends coming over, don't forget the extra garlic. Step 2. Garbage disposal. With great power comes great responsibility. You've had a good time, so let's get to work. It might be tempting to sweep everything into a trash can, but you have to separate your garbage. Not bothered? Beware that negligence is punished with a fine or public humiliation. Step 3. Drying rack. You're excited to live alone in Korea, but the fate of these items, hanger, storage, or a hanger. Go get fresh coffee outside. Jogging doesn't cost anything, and nothing beats instant rice. But keep one item around so that you don't get too lonely. Step 4. Pros of living alone. No mum. Cons of living alone. No mum. A new towel doesn't magically appear. You have to do the laundry regularly. If anyone gives a towel as a souvenir, take it. Get rid of mold immediately. Don't be lazy with the vacuum cleaner. Housework is an endless affair. Overwhelmed? Give your mum a call and thank her for everything she's done. Did you survive in your one room? Wait, you have an unwanted visitor. Call someone you fancy. Could be the right person for the job.
Press Perspective.
It's great to have you back.
We sit down with expert panelists for in-depth discussions and explore the opinions of international society through video interviews. Analyzing Korean and foreign press reports to present a balanced view. Press Perspective delivers insightful information with an emphasis on international contexts. The Globalist shines light on the lives of global leaders and their inspiring journey toward their dreams. Discover the ultimate goals they hope to achieve and the visions that drive their fields. What are the secrets to their success on the global stage?